Okay, we can start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Once again, I welcome you guys back with the greetings. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, this is the last lap, the final round. Okay, so we will end at 7 o'clock, inshallah. So now I'm trying to push as much as I can, but without compromising on the quality of the contents, inshallah. So you guys are back, inshallah? Yeah? Those who are not back, please raise your hand. Okay, it sounds weird, huh? Okay, now, just now we did talk about mirroring. How can we mirror someone to gain trust from them? The way we behave, the way we talk, okay? How we dress, the language that we use. But always remember, even when we talk about the language that they use, how can we mirror them? That doesn't mean that if they were to use foul language, we should follow too. No, don't do that, yeah? Because sometimes we do get carried away. That, okay, if they're using, we say mirroring, so why not follow everything? No. Our principle in terms of mirroring is do whatever that is possible as long it is not against the teaching of Islam. If you ask me, what can you eat in Hong Kong, a Muslim minority country, I would say eat everything. But that will be dangerous if you take me out of context. Because my entire sentence is eat everything as long it is halal. Okay? Hong Kong have everything to eat, but not necessarily everything you have to eat. Okay? So take the sentence in the right context. Don't take the text out of the context. Okay? Now, then we go to establishing credibility. Get others to introduce you, if possible. Do you have this kind of multi-level marketing here in Hong Kong?
Of course we do.
You do, of course. Now, try to recall back. When your friend is involved in MLM, not MRM, MRM is my NGO. Okay? MLM, when they want to sell the product, they always want to introduce you to their upline. How they introduce you to their upline? They will tell you, you know what? This guy, he used to work as so and so. You know, his monthly income is so much, blah, blah, blah. But then, he started to do this MLM. Part-time. But eventually, just by doing part-time, his income in this MLM, in this company, is more than his full-time income. So he decided to quit. And now he's a very successful person. He don't have to work. Yeah, right. He don't have to work. So he's traveling around the world. Now, why did he introduce you to his upline that way? To build credibility. To build credibility. It would sound weird if you were to be the one who introduced yourself. Hey bro, you know what? I'm used to be, working this. But then when I work this, who am I? It sounds like you are boasting. But by getting other people to introduce you, credible. But make sure the person who introduced you is credible too. If you get a liar to introduce you, you will be perceived as a liar too. So be careful. Okay? Don't use a con man to introduce another person. Despite what he say is correct, the statistic is correct, 2 + 2 is 4, but nobody will trust him even is correct. So make sure the person who's going to introduce you is someone that you trust, that someone have the same credibility or even more. Don't get someone, that I don't think I can trust this person. Okay? Introduce you. Let them introduce you, inshallah. And then be confident, smile, humble, and helpful. Confident doesn't mean arrogant. There's a lot of people mistakenly interchange these two things. They mean, confident means that When I talk, I have to, yeah, nama, correct ah. No, that is arrogant. When you're confident, you not necessarily you sound arrogant. There are people who sound arrogant, but not necessarily confident. You can be confident, but not sound arrogant. Like for example, you are sure? Yeah, I'm sure about that. Humble, but yet you're confident. You have your stand. Not necessarily you have to raise your voice. Sometimes, in a conversation, the moment you raise your voice, you are losing the debate. Because you become emotional. Okay? You become emotional. When it comes to spouse disagreement, always stay away from raising voice. Because when you start to raise your voice, the discussions no longer become objective. The discussion no longer become rational. The discussions become emotional. You start to talk about how do I feel? How do you feel? We no longer talk about what is the purpose of the discussions. Same thing when we come to doing da'wah. Yes, we want to protect Islam. We want to, promote Islam. We hope that people eventually will become a Muslim. That is what we hope. But when we start to be emotional, the discussion no longer become rational. We no longer talk about statistics. We start to think about how can I increase my insult of that particular person. No. We don't use that kind of excuse just because other people insult Allah and insult Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam or insult the religion of Islam. It is not an excuse for us to reciprocate the same way, to reply in the same way. A few months back in Malaysia, I was updated as well what happened here in Hong Kong too. Okay, I was updated by some of you guys. Okay, back in Malaysia, few months back, there is a series of insult towards Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then the Muslim respond as usual. They are so pumped up. When you ask them to do da'wah, they are not that aggressive. But when it comes to defending the Prophet, despite they might not so practicing, they become so aggressive. They insult, they use vulgar words. So then I do some research because I believe that I need to do something. Not that I think that I can influence a lot of people, but I'm trying to do my part. So I try to research a topic about how the Prophet ﷺ responds towards people who insult him. And then you know what? I found out there are no less than 70 ways the Prophet ﷺ will respond to people when they insult him. 70 ways. One of the notable remarks, one of the notable ways that the Prophet ﷺ responds to the insult towards him is that it increased his generosity. There is this one time, this is for us. I will be talking about how to improve ourselves. Do not respond to things when you are emotional. We want to defend Allah and the Messenger, and we want to defend Islam. But we cannot defend Islam by using an Islamic approach. Have to remember that. Regardless how much is your zeal. No. Wrong is wrong. Not because somebody is doing something wrong and you reply the same way, that makes you right. No. Two wrong doesn't mean one right. So there's one time, there is a Jew who borrowed some money to the Prophet ﷺ. Okay, and the Prophet took it. And it was agreed upon that there is a time limit when the Prophet ﷺ have to pay. Like for example, today is 23rd of June. Example, the deadline should be on 30th June. So, 30th June is supposed to be the day where Prophet ﷺ is supposed to pay. But this Jew, he came to the Prophet ﷺ when the Prophet was with the other companions, and he scolded the Prophet and said, "Hey Muhammad, where is the money that you have borrowed from me? You have promised to pay. But I know people like you and your people like you, your descendants, they are like that. They never fulfill their promise. They break their promise. People like you." Now, just imagine, brother and sister, I'm not going to mention other companions' name. I just have to mention to you one name. Umar ibn Khattab. What happened? Umar, he stood up. Brother, I need you. I just want to show you. No, I'm Omar. Okay, no worry. Let me be the Omar. I know, you're Omar. May Allah make you the Al-Faruq. Inshallah, Amin. Inshallah. always try to make good dua for our brother and sister, because the angel will make the good dua for you. So always speak good or remain silent. So Umar ibn Khattab, now I'm the Umar, he's not the Umar. Okay? Umar ibn Khattab stood up, and the Prophet have not responded yet. Umar ibn Khattab stood up and pulled his shirt this way. And that Jew was afraid. And then the Prophet ﷺ, okay, done, just done, alhamdulillah. And Prophet ﷺ, you know what he did? These Jews just lie in front of the companion, because the deadline is supposed to be 30th June, but today is only 23rd. He came much earlier, and he's lying. And he even belittled him and his family and his lineage. Now, the Prophet ﷺ, he told Umar, Ya Umar, we don't need that. Which means that kind of actions. We don't need that, Ya Umar. Leave him. Of course, Umar was like, you know Umar, right? He would do it unwillingly. The kind of things, right? He was so furious. And then the Prophet ﷺ instructed Umar, Ya Umar, go to the Baitul Mal and took the money and pay him back now. And on top of that, add on another 32 kilo of dates for him. And then Umar was, why? Then the Prophet ﷺ says that we pay him back whatever that we owe him, and that 32 kilo of dates we give him because of your rude actions towards him. And then when Umar ibn Khattab brought these Jews away, then these Jews told Umar, you know, Ya Umar, I saw there is a sign of prophet in him before this, but there are two more signs that I haven't seen yet. One is that when someone insulted him, he become more patient, and when someone insult him even more, it will increase his generosity. And just now I just saw both. And Umar, I'm going to tell you now, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. Now, how did our Prophet responded to the insult? Kindness. Surah Al-Fusilat, chapter 41, verse 34. It is not the same evil, good and evil. Repel evil with goodness. And Allah says in the next verse 35, and it is very difficult, except for those people who are mutaqin, for those people who really have faith, who are taqwa. This is the principle of Islam. But today, how do we respond sometimes? Na'udzubillah. We want to defend the Prophet, but we are not using the prophetic method, which is wrong. So, brother and sister, I'm sharing with you guys all these things. The Prophet ﷺ, this is the way, how he will respond, how he will build his confidence. You know, he is confident, but he's not arrogant. He is the Prophet of Allah, but he always remain humble. If you are not just how to be humble. Now, I do not know your background, but just to remind myself and you might have, sit in a first class. Maybe you own a private jet that you can fly everywhere, anytime that you like. I'm okay with that. Allah bless you with that. Alhamdulillah. And may Allah increase the blessing upon you guys. Ameen. But if we only have a private jet that travel maybe 400 kilometers per hour, and yet we start to be arrogant and not humble ourselves. During the Isra and Mi'raj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give Prophet ﷺ a transportation that this world have never seen up until today. That kind of technology. Allah give the Buraq. How fast can the Buraq travel? As far as the eye can see. Which means how fast? So fast. The Prophet ﷺ, he is the first man who ventured into aerospace without any oxygen tank. But yet when he came back to the earth, he never boasts about that and say, hey, I went to the space, man. Have you been there? We just went to a so-called country, that people want to go. We go to Hawaii, we go to Japan, we go to so-called country. We are enjoying first-class facility like a king, presidential suite, and so on and so forth. I went there. But the Prophet ﷺ, he went to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we haven't met Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and yet we try to be arrogant. The Prophet owned the Buraq. No other prophet have ever been given the Buraq, but the Prophet ﷺ remained humble throughout his life. So it's a reminder for me and for you. What you own today is by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Always be grateful to Allah for whatever that He has bestowed upon us, and also be grateful for whatever that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have took away from us. Because initially, whatever that Allah have took from us, it is not belong to us anyway. It belong to Him. If I were to borrow you my mobile phone now, 2 days later, I get it back from you. Can you get angry? No, you can't. Because that phone belonged to me anyway. And when Allah took it away from you, Allah wants you to be grateful for others' things. It's just like when we were young. I go back to our story. When we were young, our parents sometimes, they will take away some of our toys. What is their intention? Do they mean good or mean bad? They mean good. They take away some blessing in order to teach us some lesson. So we start to be grateful for other things that we have. Our parents might take out 2 or 3 toys, but we still have 3 baskets there. We forget that. Sometimes Allah take away some blessing from us, but we forget some blessing that Allah have given to us even before we ask. So always remain humble in our approach. Don't try to be arrogant, because whatever comes from the heart, when you are humble, will reach the. Whatever that comes from the heart will reach the. Whatever that comes from the heart will reach the heart. Whatever that comes from the mouth will reach the mouth. Astaghfirullahalazim. Will reach the ears. Will reach the ears. You guys got trapped. Whatever comes from the heart will reach the heart. Whatever comes from the mouth will reach the mouth. Astaghfirullahalazim. Ear. Okay? So always remain humble, regardless of your position. Allah bless you with every blessing. There is a responsibility, and you will be held accountable for that. Whatever that Allah don't give you, Allah knows that is best for you. Okay? So always remain humble. Whatever your position, whoever you are, whatever knowledge that you think you have, you think you are the smartest person in this world. Just like how Allah teach Musa alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam, he thought he is the smartest. But then Allah says, there are someone smarter than you. Khidir. So there will be always someone smarter than us that we do not know. So always remain humble. Just always thank Alhamdulillah. Allah make me smart. Alhamdulillah. Don't be blessed. Don't be thankful to Allah just because Allah make him stupid. No. You need to start to ask yourself, why he is around me but yet he do not have the kind of knowledge that I have, which means I have not done my job. If there are still not yet Muslims out there who didn't know about Islam, that yet they are living around us, we should not only blame them, but we should also ask ourselves, why they didn't know about Islam yet when they are living around me. If you are rich, you are living in a bungalow, but your neighborhood are poor, which means the money that you have only benefit you, but it didn't benefit other people. Okay? So always have a very positive thinking. Always be humble. Smile also. Okay? You see, Sheikh Yusuf Estes, he got one very good experience. He was in, of course he's from USA. So, one day he's just enjoying his coffee, and then there is one guy with big tattoo, riding big motorbike, stopped because he's a big beard. So this guy stopped at the at this coffee shop and scolded him and insulted Sheikh Yusuf Estes. Oh, you Islam terrorist, blah, 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 blah. Now, if these things happen to us, how will be our response?
Depend on the size of the guy.
No, the guy is bigger than him. Okay, fine. I know Sheikh Yusuf Estes is quite big. That guy is bigger. You don't look at the size. You don't look at the physical size of that person who insulted you. You look at the size of your iman. Okay? Not because that person physically is smaller than you. Okay, my response will be different. How will be our response? We might scold the person back. Maybe. But you know what Sheikh Yusuf has said it? He just looked at him, eye to eye contact. Just smile. He just smiled. He let him finish. And this is another way that how the Prophet ﷺ have taught us when it comes to communications. The Prophet ﷺ, when someone is talking, regardless what they say, the Prophet like it or he don't like it, the Prophet never interfere. He will not stop them. The Prophet ﷺ will allow them to finish. Just imagine this. A Bedouin who came to the mosque of the Prophet and urinate inside, and yet the Prophet didn't stop him. What make you think the Prophet will stop someone who say something that even he dislike? The Prophet will respect their right to express themselves. The freedom, okay, it's no longer here. Fine. But I think you guys can hear me, right? Okay? I'm more free like this. Now, the Prophet ﷺ, okay, a Bedouin who came to the mosque and urinate there, the Prophet will not even stop him. What makes you think that the Prophet will stop someone? The freedom of expressions is already there, well before the West introduced you to us. The freedom of expression is already there. Okay? It's already there. So for us today, Sheikh Yusuf Estate, he's just emulating the way the Prophet communicate. He disliked that message. He disliked the insult. But he just, when he smiled, you see, there is a saying in the West, in English, they say, my attitude depends on how you treat me. But you know what? That is un-Islamic. My attitude is being defined by my religion, not by how you treat me. If you treat people, depends on how people treat you, honestly speaking, that is not Islamic teaching. Our role model is Prophet ﷺ, not how other people treat us. So, Sheikh Yusuf Estate, let him finish. And then, of course, when you get angry, you get tired easily. You know? You use so much of muscle, so much of energy to lash out at people. That's why, do you realize when you are angry at someone, or somebody, whatever, or some issue, you tend to be more tired that day. Because you use a lot of energy that day. And that guy become tired. And then Sheikh Yusuf Estate, once he have done, the Sheikh Yusuf Estate, not immediately he replied. He said, are you done? While smiling. He's not replying, are you done? It's different. Same sentence, but different intonation. So Sheikh Yusuf Estate asked, are you done? Smiling. The guy, okay? Because he lashed out continuously, yeah? Continuously. So, then Sheikh Yusuf Estate give him a reply that shocked him. He said, Sheikh Yusuf Estate say, thank you so much for asking about my religion. And that guy got so furious and said, I didn't ask anything about your religion. No. Whatever that you have conveyed to me just now, you have just asked me a question. That shown that you received some misinformation about Islam. Do you mind if I buy you a cup of coffee? Let me explain to you. Kindness. And that guy, he sit down and have a conversation with him. Few hours. Of course, he didn't become Muslim. I know you guys will always say, did he become Muslim? Did he become Muslim? You know, when we have someone start to try to wear hijab even they are non-Muslim, MashaAllah, MashaAllah, Allahu Akbar. It's like, no, sometimes we will frighten people away. Yeah? No. Then you see that kind of response just by smiling. Smiling is like water. Anger is like fire. When you pour the water onto the fire, it will just extinguish. So remain cool. Because our Prophet ﷺ, if you look into Shama'il Muhammadiyah, you can buy this book about the characteristic, the physical appearance of the Prophet ﷺ. The companion, the way they describe the Prophet's smile is like a full moon. So bright. You know, you feel like you want to keep on looking. Like, you know, when you look at a full moon, you feel like, wow, so beautiful. Exactly. That is how the companion described him. So far, are we good? Yeah? Good. Alhamdulillah. Okay. This is just a scenario. Same thing being done by two different persons. But why sometimes it attract and give you different result? Two managers instructing the two different the same group of people, but why different response? It's just like parents, okay, the father and the mother, they give the same instruction to their children. Why different response? Sometimes they respond well to the mother, sometimes they respond well to the father. There must be a reason. Okay? Now, because brother and sister, communications goes beyond words. It goes beyond words. What we say is only 7%. How we say, 55%. Okay? And what others, okay? The way we say it account for 38, and what others see account for 55, which means the body language. The body language. Now, this doesn't mean that, which means what we say is not important. No. It depends on situation, but in general, this will be the one. What we say account for 7%. The way we say it, the intonation, 38%, and our body language. Now, someone who feel miserable in body language, you know who is that person? He's still alive today. And he's the most powerful person in the world. I'm not saying the words, you guys say it, okay? Okay? Now, he says something and do different thing, and he have said something and he deny it, and then when someone replay it and he keep on denying it, and he accuse other people as fake news. Okay? Now, fine. We are not going to talk about him. We are not going to talk about him because, honestly speaking, when you come to communications or PR, he's not someone that you're looking to learn something. If you want to learn how to lie, he is not even the best person. Okay? Because he got exposed. Some people who lie, but not being exposed until the day they die, they are good liar. Okay? But I'm not teaching you guys to lie, but I'm just saying that there's nothing really that you can really learn except strategy. Except strategy. Why? What kind of message did he carry when it comes to presidential elections? He's carry a racist tagline. Now, in general, who like racism? But why did he carry that kind of message? Because he knew the sentiment on the ground is that white supremacy. And this will bring him wood. You have to understand. And we as a da'i, we as a preacher, we don't use the political approach. Politicians will say what people like to hear in order to win the election. But we Muslims, sometimes we have to say things that people don't like in order to get them back to the original nature. Who like to be told that, hey bro, we only believe Islam is the truth. If whosoever who profess other religion than Islam, you will not enter paradise. Who like to listen that? Bro, you should not involve in interest. Bro, you should not do this. Bro, you should not stay together if you are not married. Who like to hear that? No. But if a politician, this is humans' right, we cannot interfere. You have Muslim politicians who say that too. Right? Why? For the sake of vote bank. So, brother and sister, if you want to talk about strategy, he's good. He's doing his groundwork. He understands the crowd that he wants. He's not attracting you who are against anti-racism. He's attracting those people who buy the same idea. Therefore, he won the election. Okay? When it comes to strategy, he's correct. But when it comes to the real message, he's not. So strategy, we can learn from him. But communication, no. There are some other people who are better than them. Now, human motivation. Understanding these basic things. What are the human motivations? There are two. Towards something and away from something. How can I define this? Okay. Towards something. Let me ask you just now, you guys pray Asar. Right? I didn't pray because I do a Jama already. Now, you guys pray Asar. What is your motivations that make you go and pray Asar prayer? Before you answer me, let me give you the two options. you will have these two motivation, but one will be greater than another one. In whatever situation, whatever decision that we make in our life, we always have these two, but one will be greater than another one. One, when you go for prayer, your motivation to go for prayer is because you want to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You want to go to Jannah. There is one. Second motivation is that you want to stay away from the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because you don't want to go to hellfire. Now, how many of you, it's okay, there's no right or wrong in this answer. How many of you just now who went for the Asar prayer, the main motivation, you will have this both, but I'm talking about which one is greater. The main motivation is to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, cool. Now, how many of you who went for the Asar prayer, the main motivation is to stay away from the hellfire? Some, okay, fine. Let me explain further. Now, this is important too, because when you understand this is what motivates human being, the next time the choice of words, when to say, how to say, who to say to, will be different. Now, when you perform your Asar prayer, after Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, do you have that kind of feeling of relief, like, do you have that? Now, just if you were to do your nawafil, not wajib, okay, not mandatory, but recommended, you can do it, you cannot, you can skip it, no problem, no sin on that. After you do the nawafil prayer, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, do you have that kind of feeling like relief? Yes or no? Why? Because two different motivations. The first thing, I mean, you can disagree with me because this is not wahyu. Okay? You can disagree with me. Most of the time, without us knowingly, actually when we perform our mandatory prayer, our main motivation is to stay away from the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why we feel relief the moment we completed the salah. Because the responsibility has been lifted. I have done my responsible, done. But then, the motivation to do your nawafil, because you want to increase your chance to go to Jannah. So therefore, it's just extra, not compulsory. So that kind of relief that you have, is no longer there. But it was there when you do your wajib. When you go to work, it's because you want more money or because you're afraid no money? Different motivation. For those who have not much saving, the main motivation is, who like to wake up 6 o'clock in the morning and stuck in MTR? Stuck in the traffic jam? Who like it? Nobody like it, but what forced you to wake up? What kind of motivation during that time? If I don't do this, man, I'm going to get fired. If I'm being terminated, oh, of course, there will be both. There will be love and there must be fear. So, when you marry someone, now this is a question. When you marry someone, I don't deny that you guys will love the person that you want to marry to. I don't deny that. Okay? My question is, it's because you love the person so much or you're afraid you will lose him? Which one? Think about it first. Jacqueline, what do you think? You don't know? If possible? Possibly? Fear of losing the person. How many of you agree with that? You see, brother and sister, let me give you this idea. Again, those who married because of love, more than love, I'm fine with that. But what I'm trying to show to you guys is that there are two different motivations that drive us to make our decision in life. Now, sometimes you want to make that fast, quick decision to marry someone or whatsoever because you cannot imagine life without that person. Wow, so sweet. Right? I'm not going to sing here anyway. I know there is a lyrics talking about this, but you just cannot imagine life without that person. No doubt you love that person, but the to convince yourself, you say, I think, now it's afternoon. I think I read somewhere a research saying that our feet during afternoon will be bigger because we have fought so much. So I think right now, because the size is a bit bigger, I think right after that, and also I heard some research. We also do not know when the research come in, right? Yeah, and then we start to comment. I heard my mom say last time, shoe is like that. When it's tight, when you get used to it, eventually it will become like your size. You will get used to it. You will walk more comfortable. Sound familiar to you, brother? Brother is always the victim. It's a win-win solution. So end up, it's okay. If I don't buy, I don't enjoy the 70% discount. I cannot save the 70%. So end up, you bought it, and then how many times will you possibly use that shoe? 2-3 times, and then that's it. Useless. You know why? Because the fear of losing the discount. It is not the love of owning that product. The fear of losing the discount. But during that time, you are making an emotional decision. If you come back to your rational decision, you are thinking, hey man, what am I talking about? Saving 70%. If I don't buy, I'm saving 100%. Yes. If this shoe is $1,000, now promotion, 70%, only costs $300. If I don't buy, I save that $300, man. You are not saving the 70%. You are spending 30% of that. When you come to rational, and furthermore, actually I don't really need this shoe anyway. I have another shoe, but I came here because there's a sales. The fear of losing out. That's why they always have last 3 days, last 2 days, last 1 day, last pair. Why they keep on reminding you about last? Because they give you the deadline. The same thing, brother and sister. Somebody, eventually, they are afraid. For those people who believe in God, and sometimes they live a life without God in their life in the equation, with the belief that, okay, I think I'm a good person. As long as I'm doing good, God will accept. But deep in their heart, sometimes, they will think, how if I believe in that God and what I do is not enough for me to go to paradise? He or she might believe there is a God, and he or she might believe there is a hereafter. So therefore, they just live their life the way they believe hellfire is there. So their main motivation, they want to. That's why I have one German student. He studied with me for 6 months. I never forced him to be a Muslim. He just attended my class, the Islamic 101 class. So after 6 months, I think he is ready. The way I look at him, the question, lesser and lesser, that is one of the signs. When someone first started to ask you question, a lot of question, when you ask them, do you have some question to ask me? Oh, no, I have a lot. Okay, please, let your host come. For Magole. Yeah? Let them ask. When they ask me, give me a bulk of question, through time, the question become lesser, no longer a repetitive question, lesser and lesser and lesser, eventually not much question. In fact, when other students start to ask me question, they will start to answer back. You know there is a sign. The iman has started to enter. Then I start to approach him. I say, Frederick, his name is Frederick. Frederick, from the way I look at you, you already believe in one God. Allah is a God, right? And you already accepted that Prophet Muhammad is a messenger, right? He said, yeah. So, having said so, what really holds you back from becoming a Muslim? You know what really holding him back? The thing that holding him back is that, Brother Firdaus, I'm afraid after I say the Shahada, because if I say the Shahada, I have to immediately practice 5 times, I have to pray 5 times. I'm afraid I can't do it. But when I say the word, I want to be a good Muslim. How will you solve his problem now? If this case I pass to you guys now, how will you give him this solution? What will be the solution? How? How to start small?
One prayer, then.
Remember, visual, auditory, kinesthetic. And visual, we always ask people not only by seeing, but also try to visualize. and give some real life experience, real life analogy that they can narrate to. So I told him, Frederick, if you have never been to the gym before, but you want to get fit, you want to get the six pack, you want to get the bicep, tricep, whatever step that you want. Okay? You've never been to the gym before. So when you first register, okay, you want to build the bicep, tricep that you're hoping for. Will you go and immediately take a 20 kilo? Will you? So I asked him, how many kilo will you start? Maybe 2-3 kilo, or maybe 5. But what is your target? 5 kilo will not build you this muscle. You have to take 20 or 30 kilo. I said, yeah, but slowly we'll build onto that. Yeah. What does that tell you? That you have to start somewhere. It is not that when you just register to the gym and immediately you can do all weightlifting. You can't. You have to do the treadmill, walking slowly. I mean, the fitness coach is here, right? You have to do it gradually, but eventually you were there. But you need to start. But just imagine, if you don't even register yourself as a gym member, do you think you can go to the gym? No. So I say the same thing. If you don't even register yourself as a Muslim in the sight of God, whatever your good intention will not be registered as yours. But once you have registered to become a Muslim, then you start to do your best. 5-time prayer is wajib. We don't change the rule. We don't break the rules. We don't mend the rules just because we want to get someone to become Muslim. We don't tell people, hey bro, praying 5 times a day is not wajib. No, you don't lie. Just tell them, it's wajib, but do your best. Just do your best. If you think Fajar is a bit difficult for you, if you have to wake time 7 o'clock, it's after Fajar. You get ready, you shower, before you go to work, pray the 2 rakaat before you go. Even it's late, pray first. It's better late than nothing. Zuhur. Oh, but Zuhur and Asar in my office, I cannot pray. Now, Allah knows His intention. Allah knows His difficulty. I cannot speak on behalf of Him. The best that I could is that if you have the lunchtime in between, that you can slot in just 5 minutes for Allah in your work cubicle, in your workstation, then just do it there. Just a quick 5 minutes. If you can have lunch for 1 hour, but I have to walk out. No, then you tapao. Then you just song on my. No problem. Or you just buy from outside and you just eat there, quick 20 minutes, and then you can pray. If not, I say, combine your prayers, Zuhur and Asar, the Jamak, 4-4, done. When you reach home. But how about Maghrib Isha, sometimes I will miss. No worry. You do your best, let Allah do the rest. But make sure you have to improve. Okay, alhamdulillah. A week later, he become Muslim. Find the right solution for the person. Again, whatever story that I'm sharing with you guys, it is not a testimony that, wow, Brother Firdaus is good. No. It's not me who good. Whatever that you see from me is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praise is only belong to Him. I didn't deserve any praise. Everything is from Him. Okay? But of course, the weaknesses is from me. So you see where I'm coming from? Remember this motivation? Your children, remember what is their motivations? Sometimes their motivation to do something, to act upon something that you ask them to do, might be based on towards something or stay away something. So start to understand how your children behave. Are they more motivated by towards something or staying away from something? So far, okay? Good? Okay. I4 and E4, mashallah. What is this I4 and E4? There are too many technical terms. What is I4? Anyone learned before? No. I4 and E4, no. Okay. I4 is internal frame of reference. E4 is external frame of reference. What do I mean by here? It's very tiring, this session. No. You guys enjoy it? Yeah. You guys doesn't look like one. Look like very stressful. What all this WAPAEE? How many of you can still recall all the acronym? Starting from the beginning. Accept, explore, excited. Then WAP. 3 questions people are asking about you. What are the 3 questions? Can you help me? No, do you care about me? Can you help me? Can I trust you? Right? Yeah, good, mashallah, good, good, alhamdulillah. Very good. Now, this I4 and E4, again, is for you to identify through their words, their choice of words, what kind of people they are. The choice of words. People who are I4, internal frame of reference, let me qualify this thing first, the definition. I4, people who are I4, they are someone who make decisions based on their own judgment. It's all because of themselves, not because of other people. Okay? They always want to be perceived as exclusive, as unique, different from other people. So far? Okay? E4 are people who always make decisions based on what other people say and what other people do. Just like the saying, monkey see, monkey do. How do you identify either they are I4 or E4? The choice of words. People who are I4, you will realize the words that they will use, will be me, I, me, I, me, and me. Brother, okay, like for example, what is the best halal food here in Hong Kong? Huh? What's the best halal food? You ask him, always biryani. Okay, just for example, what is the best halal food so far, sister? You have been here 12 years?
The canteen food.
The canteen food. I thought you were going to say, my own cooking. No. Just, but I'm sure your food is nice. Right, brother? You dare to say no? Okay, now, when someone travels to some place, like for example, they go for vacation, you can see whatever decision they say they make, or the choice of word. When you ask them, hey brother, out of so many countries, why you choose to go there? You are just curious, you just ask. You look at their reply. If their reply is about, I do my research and I found out that place is good. I like it. I like the environment. I like the people. I like the food. I like this and I like that. I. There's no equation of the wife or the husband or the children equation. It's all about me. I. Why do you buy this? I like it. Why do you eat at the place? Because, well, I like it. It's me. Okay? Why you do this for? It's for myself. It's me, I, and me, I. Okay? But E4 are those people, when you ask them, hey bro, why are you eating at this restaurant? What they will say? They say, because I read all those reviews very good. I go to that place because there's a lot of people going there. I saw a lot of people lining up. I saw other people. It's always referring to other people. So they don't want to miss out of that opportunity. They always like to be in the crowd. So these are the E4. So start to identify, are you I4 or E4?
Very difficult.
Majib.
Majority of Hong Kong are
No.
because of overcrowding.
Do you have a friend who is I4? Yes. Do you have a friend who is E4?
Yes.
Now, do you see the things clearly? Now, by having said so, always remember, this kind of sharing is not for you to be judgmental, but is in order for you to communicate better with the person. Because each of us, the needs is different. Look at your husband, look at your wife, look at your children. Are they more I4 or E4? When they are I4 or E4, like for example, if they are I4, remember what is I4? They make decision based on what? Me, I. Which means, don't use that kind of word. Like for example, if you want to tell that person to make a certain action or changes, don't say, have I convinced you? What do you mean you convinced me? They change because of themselves, they want. So you should use a different word like, for example, have you convinced yourself? I mean, what does it make a difference? My objective of this communication is for him to change. If I were to say, have I convinced yourself? Or have you convinced yourself? If Either way, if he really convinced, either by me or himself, he still changed. And that is my objective. So why should I care, did he mention my name or not? The objective should be very clear. Okay? How about for E4? How should you say to them? Like for example, if you want to talk to people who they are interested about Islam, okay, but they're interested, there is a sign that they are interested and they're willing to be, but they're still on the edge and they are not willing yet. If they are E4, you should use the external frame of reference. Those people who are like him, the same birds, the same feather flocks together. Birds of the same feather flocks together. What do I mean? If that person, he or she is a lawyer by profession, he or she is interested in Islam, then you should use someone who are lawyer or similar profession that also became Muslim. Use their story. If that challenge that this particular person faced, it seems like, when you ask them, why have you not, what stopped you from becoming a Muslim? You like Islam? Yeah, I like the teaching. I like it's simple, the concept, blah, 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 fine. So what really stopped you? My family. Okay, family. Family decision is important, which means he's E4 or I4? E4. So you use a story about other people who face almost the same situation, that face the challenges from the family, to help them to make the decision faster. If I4, is your family the stumbling block that stop you from becoming a Muslim? If they say, no, I don't care about my family. It's all about me. If I want, I will do it. It's all about him. So how should you do it? You no longer use external reference. You use about him. Now it's about you. It's very good. Hey, you praise him. People who are I4, they like to be praised. You say, you are just practicing the Islamic principle. What Islamic principle? Islamic principle say, Surah At-Tarim chapter 66 verse number 6, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu ku anfusakum wa alikum nara. Oh, you who believe, save yourself and your family. You are right, yourself first. Praise them. You are those people that Allah praise, who always think about themselves first. Now we are not lying anyway. We are not lying. It's just that you can look at the Quran. The Quran was revealed in a different time, in the different stages, in a different situation, to address different individual and different problem. But coming to our world today, it addressed all our problem. You get what I mean here? So far clear? Okay, good. MashaAllah. It's easy to share with you guys, huh? Because everything seems like, okay, clear. Okay, no problem, moment Thai. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Jafar, please invite me again. I like them. This is like lobbying, huh? Okay, let's get to know some of the characteristics of people who are I4, E4, or maybe we're talking about introvert. How many of you who think that you guys are introvert? Wait, you are introvert? You are introvert? Jafar is introvert? Okay, introvert. Okay. Yes. Okay, let me define introvert. It might, you see, sometime in us, we know introvert and extrovert. But do you know there is an in-between called ambivert? Which means good balance of both, introvert and extrovert. They can become super introvert and super extrovert in a different time, dealing with different people in a different situation. Okay? But that doesn't mean, after I presented this topic, there are people who are introvert, they ask me, so brother, me as an introvert, how to do da'wah? Because introverts don't like to talk to strangers. They feel very cranky, they feel uneasy. Talk to someone, no. I will share with you, inshallah. Okay? But of course, you can deal with people who are introvert as well. How can you do da'wah? That's why when I talk to people, when they came and meet me, at appointment and so on and so forth, the first few 10-15 minutes, I will use a lot of open-ended questions. You know what's open-ended questions? Difference between closed-ended and open-ended question is, closed-ended is, have you taken your lunch? Yes or no? That is closed-ended. Open-ended is, what do you have for lunch? What, how, where. You don't ask, okay, yes or no. Yes or no is just one simple. You only get one information. If I were to ask, what do you have for lunch? And that person answer, I have chicken rice for lunch. Which means you get with one question two answer. That this person, he took his lunch and he eat chicken rice. But if I using close-ended, I will have to ask two questions. Brother, have you taken your lunch? Yes. What do you have for your lunch? Chicken rice. You are still getting your answer, but longer route. Okay? So for the first 10-15 minutes, normally people who I do not know, I will allow them to express themselves. I will ask more open-ended questions in order for me to start to detect the choice of word that they are using. Then when they say, me, I always like to travel alone. I do this, I do that. Anna, when you look at the face, their expression, either they are comfortable to talk to you or not, you will start to realize they are more inclined towards being an extrovert or introvert. Because if they are introvert, the way I'm treating them, the way I talk to them, and the post-discussion will be different compared to someone who are extrovert. And the tone and the pace that I will be using during the discussion for introvert and extrovert will be different. For introvert, I will use lesser joke.
But you still make jokes.
I will still make joke, and then I will try not to talk too fast. Because introvert, they need more time to digest. They need time. But extrovert, if you talk slowly, they will feel boring. They need you to talk very fast. It's like, you know? So let's look at some of the signs of introvert, inshallah. They have only few friends. Look at your Facebook friends now. Those of you who are too socialized, you might have few thousand friends, but 99% you do not know them. You just approve. Okay? They do more listening than talking. They don't really talk a lot. They prefer to type. Okay, rather than talk. They talk to their family members, but not to strangers. That's why you can realize, if you have family members who are introvert, when you are at the living hall, as a family session, they can talk a lot. Wow, blah, 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 blah. But then when a stranger came in, they will immediately run upstairs. They will immediately hide inside the room. They don't want to be introduced. When you ask, boy, come on, I want to introduce you to Tai Gu Lai. Who Tai Gu Lai? I don't care lah. I don't care. They don't feel comfortable. They want to be in their own comfort zone. This is introvert. And they may get crappy when spending a lot of time around other people. These are the people that you should not ask them out to meet a lot of other people. Let you have 1-to-1 session or 1-to-2 session. But before you invite other people that he or she do not know, get their permission first. Brother, sister, do you mind if I get my other friends to join me? She is this, he is this. Gives a little bit background about that particular person, and make sure you let your friends that are going to accompany you to meet the person know that person background too, in order for him not to say something which is wrong. Both sides you have to communicate. So far okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Only you okay?
Yes.
Okay. They do not share their feeling easily. Sometimes they keep to themselves a lot. But when they break it, it's like volcano. Everything erupted. Yeah. And when they break it, it's like you will get shocked. Because this volcano has been inactive for 150 years. There is no record. The last record was 150 years ago. You know why did I say that this volcano is like 150 years ago? Because it's like, this person, she's very shy, she's very quiet, she don't really express her feeling to other people, she don't really show her anger, she rarely show her dissatisfactions, and so on and so forth. But then out of sudden, explode and go to boom, everyone. Done. And the after effect, for 1 month, there is no sunlight because it's covered with the ashes. Okay? And they become deeply humiliated after making a mistake in public. Yeah? Yeah, mashallah. Fine, no problem. That's why, for these people, I will share with you guys how to deal with them, how to talk to them, in order for them to be comfortable. Always remember, we are not learning this to manipulate others people for our own benefit, but we are learning this in order for us to convey the message effectively to them, and hopefully it will benefit them, not for us. Okay? How to deal with introvert? Respect their need for privacy. Don't interrupt them. When they are reading, please don't go out of sudden. You surprise them. Hello, hey, I want to talk to you like this. Then they will just quiet. They are not feeling comfortable because they don't want to express their feeling to you. If not, they will scold you. So don't. Respect their privacy. When you know very well they are introvert. Never embrace them in public. Talk to them in private. If you want to correct them, talk to them in private. Okay? Don't talk to them in public that brother, you know about Islam. Yeah. They will be like that. They will be, yeah. They are not going to express so much. Let them observe first in new situation. Give them time. That's why I say, for introvert, the rate for them to change is slower. It's not that they are not easily adaptable. Yes, they are easily adaptable. When they analyze the situation, they are more careful in their approach. They will just, but for extrovert, bring what may, I will just embrace it. It's just totally opposite. So for introvert, let them observe, prepare them. There are some changes. If you are talking to a not yet Muslim who have interest to become a Muslim, give them some time to prepare for what are the challenges, but let them know. Don't lie to them by saying, brother, after you become a Muslim, everything will be fine. Yeah, you are right. Who tell you so? And then you keep on insisting to them, brother, sister, please trust me. Again, why should I trust you? The problem is, we have not established the fact either that particular person trusts us or not. We already started to use the word, please trust me. It will backlash. It will backfire. Again, you will be humiliated by that person when the person asks you, Umar, why should I trust you? And if the person no, last time you borrow $100 from me, you haven't returned. Why should I trust you? That is even worse. Right? So you should know your standing. Use the word correctly. We don't want, but yeah, you should trust me. No, don't use the word. If you want to use the trust me, but you are not sure, the word that you should use is that, not to trust you, but say, brother, what does your gut feeling, your instinct tell you now? You say, yeah, I'm quite comfortable. So brother, trust your own instinct. Your own instinct, don't trust me. You see, trust your own instinct, trust your own feeling. Don't trust me, because you have not established the trust yet. Different situations, huh? Okay. Teach them new skill privately. Give advance notice about positive changes in life. They need longer time. Okay? Be their friend, don't force them to make a lot of friends. Am I right? Do you like a lot of friends? No? He most probably you are someone who just around people that you know very well, that you have been friends for years, not some new strangers. And most probably you will be with your family, and you do like to hang around too much. And your Facebook friend is lesser than 1,000. Am I right? And you seldom share about what you eat. Not really, right? Not at all. Yeah, he don't share. That is my private matter, nothing to do with other people. So you can see that, people who are introvert is totally different. Now, I never met him. This is something that I just shared with you guys. But when he say he's an introvert, okay, I just make a guess based on my experience. It will not be 100% correct. But it will be at least 70, 80 true. What I have shared so far, is it true? More than that, alhamdulillah. Okay? So it will work. But you guys have to do a lot of practice. What you learn today is just theory. But you have to go out and start to analyze. When you talk to people, pay more attention. You will not be able to learn if when people talk, you are not listening and you are not paying attention. Trust me, for the next 10 years, you will still be the same. You will not improve on your communication. If you are doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different result, you know what does it call in English? It called insanity. Yes, insanity means you are doing the routine things repeatedly over and over again, but expecting different result. If you keep on eating the biryani every day and expecting to slim down, what is the chances? Oh yeah, there is chances, which means you have some problem with your health. Okay, if you keep on eating all those oily food and so on and so forth, and you're expecting, to be healthy, no, you can't. You have to change. So you have to change your routine too. Okay. Respect their introverts. Do not push them to be extrovert. Don't say, hey bro, you cannot like that. You should make friends. Have you ever encountered that? You cannot be like that. You're grown up already. You are teenagers. You should make a lot of friends. Later, when you go to work, how? You see? Those are the message that when we understand who they are psychologically, then you will know, okay, no, don't try to force them to become extrovert.
Some people also say, why you didn't have that friends?
Just because I don't have.
Because trusting is not so easy.
Yes. You see, some people who are extrovert, they can be turned into introvert overnight. Because someone that they trusted before betrayed them.
They really think that you do have friends, you are something.
Understand. Trust is an issue. Trust is an issue. That's why when you understand, when that particular person, they don't really feel comfortable sharing with you, do not immediately prejudge them by saying, that person is arrogant. No. Who they are today and who we are today is because what happened to us last time that shaped us to become who we are today. So sometimes you have to give them more times. That's why I've mentioned earlier part that whatever that I share here might be few minutes, but the entire process might take months and years for you to really reach to that stage. So be more patient. Then when you start to find out, oh, no wonder when we first met, that person don't really talk to me. He feel a bit reserved. No wonder because he used to have a good friend of 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. At the end of the day, this good friend that he trusted so much, betray him. How can I trust someone that I just know? It's not easy. So give time. Give them time. Okay? Trust is an issue. Introvert, extrovert, same thing. Okay? Now, extrovert, we only have around 10 minutes left because the Maghrib is 7:15, right? Signs of extrovert, mashallah. Love to talk. Socializing help them to feel energized and inspired. Like to solve problems by discussing them. Friendly and approachable. Very open and easy for people to know them. Change topic unknowingly. Do you have such friends?
Yes.
Do you have a spark? Do you have your husband or wife? Okay, especially husband. That when they talk to them about certain problem, okay, you keep on discussing with them, and all of a sudden they change topic, and they say, "Darling, ink, yeah, married for quite some time. Ink, why do you change topic? We have not finished yet." Do you think they change the topic knowingly or unknowingly?
Knowingly.
Sometimes they change knowingly. No doubt. I trust you guys. But when you start to realize, is your husband someone who are extrovert? Is this the way he used to communicate with his other friends out there? Is it the same? If it's the same, which means he is extrovert who changed topic unknowingly. But the way he talked to his friend out there and the way he talked to you is different, which means he changed it knowingly because he has no answer to that. He has no excuse for that. But in general, do not always remember, brother and sister, all these things will make you feel like you can prejudge people. No. sometimes you have to analyze the entire situation. Is him or is her like that? Outside and inside. If he is different outside and different inside, then we should start ourselves. Is he really introvert or extrovert? Sometimes you change topic unknowingly. They will feel very, in the car, they will feel very tired. You just put them in the car and they fall asleep. But when they go to the meeting or meet a lot of people, they were like, wow, it's just like, this tiger just wake up. They like to socialize. People who are extrovert, they like to talk non-stop. And the more they talk, the more energy they get. But the moment you ask them to stop, you know what's going to happen? The battery die off. That is extrovert. Okay? Enthusiastic. Okay? And when you meet people who are extrovert, they always make you feel like you have met them for so long and you have known them for so long. You feel a bit comfortable, and sometimes you get a bit uncomfortable because of his openness, of their enthusiastic to you. The enthusiasm. You get shocked. Wait, quite there is a ghost inside him. All of a sudden he becomes so excited. You will be frightened sometimes. How to deal with extrovert? When they come to extrovert, don't tell them, hey, can you be quiet? They can't. They cannot be quiet. If you stop them to be quiet, you rather ask them to suicide. Don't do that to them. Can you just imagine? You want to, pull the trigger, and you stop the bullet from coming out. What will happen to the bullet? It will explode inside. Same thing, if you ask the introvert person who want to share, and you ask them to stop, it's like all the word is keeping inside, it will start to, and then it will explode. It's better you ask them to jump from IU, from the 8th floor, but don't do it, please. It's just a metaphor. Don't really, literally, bro, you go and jump from out there. If you don't know how to jump, I know how to kick. They get their energy from other people. Never embarrass them in public. Talk to them in private again. Respect their independence. Compliment them in company of others. Praise them. They like to be praised. They like to shine. Okay? They like to shine. And accept and encourage their enthusiasm. Thoughtfully surprise them by giving them good news, by giving them present. That is what they want. And understand when they are busy. You remember, although these extrovert, they are very talkative, but when they are busy, don't talk to them. They will agree to every single thing that you say. They might just say, yeah, but they will not fulfill it. Not because they purposely break the promise. Because when they are busy, they are not focusing on other things. They just focus on that thing. And they can be super duper serious. When they are busy, don't try to disturb them. When you see, you just have to realize, to identify someone who are extrovert when they are busy is that normally they will just open their door. I don't care. Their office, cubicles, or in their house, in their own home. When they always open the door, but out of sudden, they are doing something. It's not at night, but they lock the door. You should understand they are focusing on something. Don't keep on knocking. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, because for someone who are extrovert, even some who are introvert too, when the creative juice coming, you just want to keep on writing and expressing yourself. Because the moment you stop, you have to start from the gear 1 again. So don't disturb them, let them focus on their schedule. Okay? Now, it's 7 o'clock, mashallah. Make physical or verbal gesture. Physical gesture is like, touching them. Touch those areas that is permissible to touch. There are some taboo that you should not touch. Like for example, in Chinese culture, you have to depend on which culture that you're living in. There are some Chinese culture, not on the forehead, not on the shoulder. Okay? But in terms of sexual abuse, you should not touch the front, the back side, or even the thigh. You have to remember. Here, no problem. Okay? If you want to give them high five, that's okay also. But you should always understand what is the rules and regulation in that country, what is the taboo, what is the culture in that country. I will not be able to give you a general a guideline, a very specific one. But a general one, okay. But specific, you have to go to the country, what is the culture, what is their taboo. The Indian have a different taboo, the Pakistani have a different taboo, a Chinese have a different taboo. Okay? So, understand their culture. Now, brothers and sisters, I will not be able to, never mind, this segmentation you can read later. Just very easy. Now, how many of you now is introvert and extrovert? How many is introvert? Okay, introvert. How many of you are extrovert? How many of you are ambivert? Which is balance of both. So others is, what word? Convert. Revert. Do you think I'm an introvert or extrovert? What, this is unanimous decision that I'm an extrovert. What makes you think that I'm an extrovert? Just because Umar, that's not fair. You can just imagine if a speaker in front, he didn't talk non-stop, you guys will fall asleep and all of you will go back. I could be an introvert that converted into an extrovert when I need it. It's like a convertible car. You know, without a roof, and sometimes you can convert it to have a roof. But yeah, I'm an extrovert, okay? You're right, you're right. But not the fact that, yeah, I can talk a lot, I can feel very tired, but the moment you surround me with people that want to talk, they want to listen, yeah, I can go off. I can talk until the next day. Okay? Now, Zakir Naik is an introvert or extrovert? He is both. He is both. Both. Ambivert. But hopefully he's not listening to it. Okay? So inshallah, brother and sister, I hope I have more time with you guys, but inshallah, now, throughout these 4.5 hours to 5 hours, have you guys learned something about communications? Now, just for your information, this is just roughly around 25%. You remember my IDAR? IDAR, attention, interest, desire, action, and retention? Do you recall that I haven't shared any of the IDAR yet? This is just a basic to prepare you to how to improve your daily communication. But you can just imagine, brother and sister, I'm not lobbying Jafar to invite me. Although I will be coming in October. Okay? But you see, brother and sister, the Quran, for the people, the scholars of fiqh, they will look at the angle of fiqh, how they can come up with halal and haram. Okay? For the muhaddis, people, the scholar of hadith, they will look at the hadith as Hasan or Sahih or Maudu and so on and so forth. But for someone like me, who is not scholar in that field, and I'm not a scholar, I will look at the Quran and hadith other than guidance, which is the utmost important. I will look at the Quran and hadith as the way of communications. Because there is a lot of dialogue in the Quran, there's a lot of dialogue in the hadith. All the hadith, there is a context to it. How that things transpired, what really happened before that and what really happened after that. Like for example, okay, I just give you an example. Okay, Allah will not love those people who didn't love other people. This is the context. This is the text. But what is the context? We don't really know, right? The context is the Prophet ﷺ, he went and kissed a youngster, a kid. He kissed them, and there's a man, a Bedouin, came to the Prophet and approached him and said, Ya Rasulullah, what are you doing? And the Prophet ﷺ answered, I'm kissing them. And then that man said, I have 10 children, but I never kissed any one of them. Then the Prophet said, Allah will have no mercy on those people who have no mercy. That is the context. You can see the conversations between them. when you look into the Quran and Sunnah, inshallah, other than reading to get your sawab, try to get it and learn about communication. Allah and the angel, Allah and the prophet, between the creation, there is a lot of communication inside. And inshallah, hopefully one day, when I come back in October, I can see, and you guys will come to me and say, Brother Firdaus, I have learned something in June, and I try to implement it. And alhamdulillah, it really works. My communication with my spouse improved. My communication with my children improved. Our relationship in the process will improve too, inshallah. So may Allah make us the source of guidance, and may Allah make us the source of that will benefit other people, and may Allah make us and our offsprings, the best of generations. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant every one of us goodness and Jannatul Firdaus. Amin ya Rabbil Alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.